Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a season in a woman's life when heaven begins to murmur her name. To the natural eye, she may appear ordinary, unnoticed, unchanged. But in the spiritual realm, she is being positioned for something uncommon. God does not bless randomly. When He is preparing to release something weighty, something that will alter the atmosphere, the woman He selects will begin to sense the pressure of divine preparation. Purpose always comes with process, and preparation always comes before promotion. The first sign is often solitude. She finds herself alone, not because she is unloved or forgotten, but because she is being set apart. Isolation is not rejection, it is refinement. God quiets the noise so she can hear the whisper. He removes distractions not to wound her, but to guard the seed of what He is about to bring forth in her life. This separation is sacred. It is the cocoon before emergence, the hidden place where destiny begins to take shape. In that quiet, a strange restlessness starts to stir in her soul. She feels it deep within, a knowing that where she is no longer matches who she is becoming. What once fulfilled her now feels empty. The job, the routines, the familiar faces, all of it suddenly feels misaligned. This is not confusion. This is transition. It is the labor pain of purpose. Her spirit senses movement before her mind can make sense of it. Then doors begin to close, unexpectedly, without explanation. Not because she failed, but because God is redirecting her steps. She prays, she plans, she pushes, yet the path ahead feels blocked. This is not resistance from heaven, it is divine strategy. Closed doors are often acts of mercy because God sees the future she cannot see. When He shuts one way, it is because He is preserving her for the right one. She doesn't mourn the door. She learns to thank Him for the protection. In the middle of this divine disruption, something else awakens, a deep hunger, a holy thirst. She begins to crave God's presence in a way she never has before. His word becomes nourishment, not routine. She seeks Him not out of obligation, but desperation. She is no longer chasing applause or platforms. She is chasing alignment. As she draws closer, heaven releases insight and revelation. Shallow things lose their appeal. She is being recalibrated for kingdom things. With increased hunger comes increased warfare. Suddenly everything feels heavier. Unexpected attacks arise. Doubts whisper. Betrayal stings. Weariness sets in. The enemy never fights what is insignificant. He fights what threatens him. And what he fears most is a woman who knows her calling and refuses to bow. He sees the oil being poured and he panics. Resistance becomes confirmation. The storm becomes evidence that heaven is at work. God begins to speak not once but repeatedly, through dreams, through scripture, through conversations she did not plan, through that still quiet voice within her spirit. He confirms what she has felt but could not explain. Patterns emerge, signs align, symbols point towards something greater than her comfort. She senses that something is about to break open, and she clings to the word as if her life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Then boldness begins to rise, a steady fire, a deep knowing. She may not have all the details, but she has peace. Even in uncertainty, she walks with assurance. This is not arrogance, it is authority under surrender. The clarity she once pleaded for comes in waves. Her posture changes, her voice carries weight, her presence shifts because heaven stands behind her. She is not falling apart, she is coming into alignment. Woman of purpose, if you recognize these signs, do not retreat, do not doubt, do not diminish yourself. You are not breaking down, you are breaking through. Something significant is approaching, and when God blesses, He never blesses partially. He blesses exceedingly and abundantly beyond what she could ask or imagine. When God is preparing to do something extraordinary in a woman's life, isolation often appears first. This is not punishment, it is divine intention. God begins to separate her, not only physically from certain people and places, but spiritually from the noise that once diluted her focus. Conversations that once energized her no longer hold meaning. Friendships feel distant. Familiar environments feel empty. This is not loneliness. It is separation for transformation. God always isolates before He elevates. Moses was removed from the palace before receiving his assignment. Joseph endured the prison before entering the palace. David was hidden in the wilderness long before sitting on the throne. This pattern repeats because transformation requires time alone with God. In this season, he becomes her sole source, not her network, not her achievements, not her titles, just him. She learns to recognize his voice in stillness and truth in silence. In isolation, clarity is restored. Distractions fall away. God begins to reveal things about her heart she never noticed while surrounded by noise. He starts to peel away false layers she once wore to survive. Layers of approval seeking, layers of fear, layers of insecurity and comparison. As those layers fall, she meets the woman she was always designed to be. This season is holy. It is uncomfortable, often confusing, but sacred. Because before God entrusts her with something heavy, he ensures she can carry it. When a woman stands on the edge of a divine shift, God does not begin with attention or applause. He begins with silence. He draws her away gently but intentionally. People drift, invitations stop, conversations fade. Though she may try to hold on, something within pushes her towards solitude. This is not abandonment, it is alignment. What God is placing inside her cannot survive constant noise. The deeper the calling, the greater the separation. In this season, she feels misunderstood. Even those closest to her struggle to connect as they once did. It feels as if she is speaking a language no one else understands. That is because God is teaching her a new language of identity, purpose, and calling. Her appetite shifts. Surface-level relationships no longer satisfy her soul. She longs for depth, truth, and eternity. Though it feels like she is losing everything, she is actually gaining herself. This wilderness produces wisdom. This secret place restores identity. She cries more, she prays deeper, she listens longer. In the quiet, God reveals hidden wounds, breaks old cycles, and heals her sense of worth. Isolation sharpens her discernment. Silence strengthens her faith. This is the kind of stillness that births authority. The world may not see her, but heaven watches closely as she is refined and prepared. Before God brings her into rooms of influence and blessing, he brings her into seasons where his voice is the only one she follows. And when God prepares to bless a woman with something great, doors often close without warning. Opportunities disappear. Relationships dissolve. Plans unravel. To the natural eye, it looks like loss. In the spiritual realm, it is guidance. God is not punishing her. He is preserving her from settling for less than what he has ordained. Some of the doors that close are the very ones she prayed for. That is what makes this season so difficult. But God sees what she cannot see. He knows when something that looks like favor would eventually become a burden. Closed doors force her to pause, to listen, to trust. They remind her that her destiny is not controlled by people, but by her Creator. Jobs, connections, and opportunities were never the source. They were instruments, and when they no longer align with his purpose, God removes them without apology. Because when he is ready to open a door no one can shut, he first closes every door that could limit her vision. When God is about to release something extraordinary in a woman's life, he does not only shift her surroundings, he awakens her spirit. A deeper hunger for his presence ignites, not forced, not manufactured, but holy and consuming. It rises suddenly, overwhelming her in a way even she struggles to explain. The things that once entertained her no longer satisfy her soul. Conversations that used to capture her attention now feel hollow and empty. There is a divine pull, strong and undeniable, drawing her toward the secret place. She longs for stillness, craves worship, and finds herself searching the scriptures not out of habit, but out of desperation. This hunger is not ordinary. It is a divine summons. It is the Spirit of God stirring her to come nearer, to go deeper, to step beyond the veil. The more she responds to that pull, the more he reveals. In this season, she begins to recognize the difference between religion and relationship. She is no longer chasing routine. She is pursuing encounter. In that pursuit, she starts to hear God more clearly, sense him more intimately, and see herself more truthfully. Her prayer life shifts. She is no longer praying only for outcomes or answers. She is praying for alignment, for wisdom, for purity of heart. Her tears become a language. Her worship becomes a weapon. She is not searching for a platform. She is seeking presence. This kind of hunger cannot be taught or forced. It must be awakened by God Himself. And when it comes, it rearranges everything. This is how God prepares her for what lies ahead. Before the blessing is released, He anchors her in Him, not in results. He deepens her roots so that when the weight of the blessing arrives, it does not crush her, it crowns her. What is coming is not just large, it is divine. And only a heart that longs for Him can carry it without breaking. When a woman stands on the edge of a divine breakthrough, the atmosphere around her begins to shift, and so does the resistance. Unusual opposition and intensified spiritual warfare begin to surface, not because she is weak, but because she is becoming dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. The enemy does not fight what poses no threat. But when a woman aligns with heaven's agenda, when her identity starts to rise, when her hunger deepens and distractions fall away, hell takes notice and responds with opposition meant to distract, discourage, and derail her. Attacks come from unexpected places. People she trusted begin to change. Emotions become unpredictable. Thoughts she believed were defeated return with force. Sleep becomes restless. Peace feels challenged. Progress seems slowed. None of this is accidental. It is intentional. It is the enemy sensing that something powerful is about to be birthed through her life. Just as Pharaoh attempted to destroy the deliverer before Moses was grown, the enemy strikes before the manifestation appears. But spiritual warfare is not evidence of failure. It is often the strongest confirmation that she is exactly where she needs to be. Pressure proves purpose. Intensity signals impact. And though the battle may rage around her, she is not fighting alone. Heaven has already gone ahead of her. Angels have been assigned. The Spirit of God within her is greater than anything that rises against her. This warfare is not meant to destroy her. It is meant to develop her. It sharpens her discernment, strengthens her prayer life, anchors her faith, and prepares her to carry the glory ahead. What the enemy intended for harm, God is using for elevation. A woman who survives the fire cannot be stopped when she steps into the promise. What tried to consume her only refined her. What tried to break her only revealed her strength. When God is preparing to release something significant into a woman's life, He never leaves her without direction. He begins to send confirmation again and again through unexpected people, through sermons that speak directly to her heart, through dreams, through scriptures that seem to leap from the page. God repeats His message until her spirit can no longer deny it. These are not coincidences. They are divine signals. It is God saying, I am speaking and I want you to listen. She may be in a season of uncertainty, questioning her direction, unsure whether what she feels is truly from God. Then suddenly someone speaks words that mirror her private prayers. A message reaches her at the exact moment she needs it. A dream aligns perfectly with the vision she has been quietly carrying. This repetition is deliberate. God knows that when destiny feels heavy, fear can cloud the mind. So He speaks repeatedly to bring clarity and courage. Each confirmation becomes another thread woven into the fabric of her faith. The more she hears it, the stronger her confidence becomes. She begins to recognize the voice behind the voices. It is not the people speaking. It is God using vessels to remind her that she is not imagining this. He reveals pieces of the picture before unveiling the full masterpiece. With each word, sign, and prompting, her spirit aligns more boldly with His will. These confirmations are not meant to be worshipped, but they are meant to be acknowledged. They are breadcrumbs leading her into deeper obedience. God does not confirm what lacks purpose. When the signs keep appearing, when the message continues to repeat, when the word refuses to leave her spirit, she must understand that heaven is announcing her next chapter before it unfolds. When God is about to bless a woman with something great, a moment comes when everything within her begins to align with heaven's intention. Suddenly an unshakable boldness and clarity emerge. This strength does not come from validation or ideal conditions. It rises from deep within, where fear has been replaced by revelation. She may still face uncertainty, but something inside her is settled. She may not have all the answers, but she has assurance, and that assurance births quiet strength. This boldness is not arrogance, it is authority. It is the fruit of surrender, submission, and silence before God. It is what happens when a woman has wrestled in prayer, wept in worship, and battled in the Spirit, and emerged with vision. She speaks differently. She walks differently. She makes decisions with conviction. She no longer questions her worth or her calling. The opinions of others lose their power because the voice of her Father has settled her soul. With clarity comes focus. Distractions lose their hold. She stops chasing what does not align. She stops explaining herself to people who were never assigned to understand her. She begins to build, create, move, and act because she finally sees what God has been revealing all along. She no longer waits for perfect conditions. She steps forward in faith, knowing the ground beneath her feet is secure. This is the moment where heaven's preparation meets her obedience. Her courage is not loud, but it is immovable. Her choices are no longer rooted in fear, but in purpose. Once a woman reaches this place, no storm, no critic, no delay can stop what God is about to release through her life. When a woman begins to recognize these signs, divine separation, closed doors, an intense hunger for God's presence, heightened warfare, repeated confirmation, unexpected boldness, and unshakable clarity, she must understand that heaven is announcing her next season. These are not accidents, they are divine markers. She is being positioned for something far greater than she imagined. God is not only preparing a blessing for her, He is preparing her for the blessing. And when He blesses, He does not bless partially. He blesses fully, abundantly, overflowing. This is the season to remain focused, to protect her spirit, guard her thoughts, and walk closely with the one who called her. What is coming will require influence, favor, wisdom, and responsibility. It will demand maturity, discernment, and strength. Let every sign remind her that she is not forgotten, overlooked, or delayed. She is becoming the woman who can steward what God is about to release, becoming the vessel through which heaven will move. And when the timing is right, when the process has completed its work, when her heart is fully aligned with His, God will reveal what He has been shaping all along. It will be big, not for her comfort, not for her glory, but for His kingdom. Because when God blesses a woman, it is never just about her. It is about everyone she will impact, raise, and lead. The world is about to feel the shift because she is not waiting for permission. She has been chosen, and her moment is drawing near.